both attended Washington College, which was a small, liberal indoctrination art school on the eastern shores of Maryland. We pledged together in a fraternity called Phi Sigma, which, if you know anything about it, basically means we were traumatized together. And that creates a special kind of bond between people. Before we begin the celebration of Eric and Maria's union, let us take a moment to acknowledge the spirit of this beautiful place, Lake Wakawan. The Abenaki people who lived here long before us believed that the lake was protected by a guardian spirit. The guardian spirit was known as Wakawan, who watched over the waters and the people who depended on them. Today, as we stand by this lake, we seek Wakawan's blessing to guard over this marriage. It turns out that the Abenaki also believed that the lake was haunted, this specific lake. So if you see a Native American asking who's in charge of the potatoes, you know why. In honor of the natives of these lands, I share with you an Abenaki blessing. Weli wikamantop makoya. Weli wimakontop makoya. Okimapanal nimach pogan. Wimakwagan. Wiwini pilowogan. Nikawapogan. Which roughly translates to, may your path be as smooth as a fine deer hide. Now let's talk about Eric. Back in college, we called him Nuge. Something to do with Ted Nugent and golf, I don't remember, but we called him that. We all had nicknames back then, and that was his. Eric's the kind of guy who's got this mix of spontaneity and discipline that's hard to come by. It's like he's always ready to jump into something new, but he's also got the focus to see it through. Kind of like the kind of guy who would drag you on a 20-mile hike through the mountains with a 60-pound bag on your back. He mocked me for bringing a tent in my backpack that day because he said, all you have to do is sleep under the stars. You don't have to bring that with you. That's what he said. And as the rain clouds swept in, and as we marched endlessly beyond 20 miles, as we started searching desperately for a shelter, we eventually gave up. Eric and his dog had to get into my one-man tent for the sake of survival. We were used to struggling together, so in a way, we were in good company. But that night I learned something else about Eric, which is that he's a good snuggler. And Maria, you're a lucky woman. In addition, Eric is also open-minded, curious, and ambitious. In school, I'd often find him studying at odd hours, grimly focused upon his readings, whereupon recognizing my presence would simply give me that look that said, please don't talk to me, I have no life left to give. Eric is not beholden to beliefs or ideas, he's not attached to an identity, and that can be felt and appreciated in times like these, where some make it impossible to simply disagree with opinions. He's spontaneous, but also disciplined, and because of that, I believe he's not just a good man, but will be a great husband. Eric has a great sense of humor and an appreciation for the finer, awkward moments in life that most people don't even recognize. We both enjoy playing chess online and occasionally square off in heated matches against each other. It's become a tradition for us. But it's a tradition we keep because at the end of the day, it's not about winning. It's about sharing the experience of mutual growth with someone who's not afraid to fail with you. A man can't be good at anything unless he fails his way there, which is something Eric, a man of character, understands. I'm still getting to know Maria, and from what I've learned, she's got Sicilian roots on her mother Marilyn's side, which means Eric's in for a lifetime of passionate arguments and spicy meatballs. My understanding is that on Maria's father's side, Bob's father, Henry Ambrose, and his family date back to 1637, shortly after the first settlers arrived to build this great nation. With that being said, you can expect a side of boiled mutton and porridge in addition to those spicy meatballs. Dr. Peterson, drawing from his extensive study of psychology and human behavior, suggests that marriage is not about happiness, but about meaning. He argues that the purpose of life is finding the largest burden that you can bear and bearing it. In normie speak, what he's basically saying is that marriage is like a Wi-Fi signal. And sometimes it's strong and stable, and other times it's weak, and you don't know why. But you have to keep resetting it until it works, because internet is important. So here is to Eric and Maria. May your marriage be like a well-played game of chess. Not always predictable, but always engaging and full of mating. I wish you both a future as a new family, and if things get rough, just remember you're both in this together, doing something hard and meaningful, and in life, that's how we become better people. I wish you all the best. Cheers.